Hello, good morning everyone, it's Irina. So today, because it's weekend, I thought about bringing a demo since I'll probably get interrupted like it happened yesterday, like twice. So I decided to do something a little bit more probably short and doing some demos in terms of the otome games. So I went to Steam, and maybe I'll do it like this. I'll just get some demos and we kind of like play them together, let's say it like that. The first one that appeared to me was this one called Burn the Midnight Oil. I only did like a little bit of it just to have like a feeling of it. It has content warning here, so 17 plus. We have a depiction of like horror, blood, strong language, suggestive content, alcohol, drugs. Well, you kind of had that with the other one that I've been playing on PSP too. And let's see what we get from here. Okay, so we can play as Circe or Dante. Type vampire, private investigator. For 2 decades, Circe stalked the streets of North Haven as a private investigator. Accompanied by her sidekick Edgar, she mostly deals with trivial jobs like catching cheating spouses, finding missing pets, and slaying vampires. In recent years, Circe lost her passion for detective work, but the city isn't done with her just yet. When she's approached by 2 different clients looking for the same person, she decides to take on this one last case. Yeah, I'm not the best today to be reading because I didn't sleep very well. And like, this is kind of tiny for me. I don't actually like that much when it's this tiny. Somewhere, don't remember the month, 1966. Something not quite human sits on the edge of the stranger's bed, leisurely lapping at the blood coating her fingertips, savoring her leftovers. She turns her head to stare at tonight's meal. A handsome man, currently lost inside his dreams. She wants to be certain she's not imagining the steady rise and fall of his chest. The last thing she needs is a trail of bodies leading them to her. But even the imprints of her teeth on his fair skin have already faded. When he wakes up tomorrow, his memories of the entire night, of her too, will be gone. He'll go on with his life like he never met her. He'll get married, have a kid or 2, grow old, die. She'll remember him for a while, but she won't be sad about it, or miss him, or ever ponder what could have been. He's not the first meal whose bed she's seduced herself into, and he could never be the last. So pretty. Her eyes traced the stranger's features one last time, searching in vain for a different face. His face. Before your humanity was stolen from you, could you have been anything like this man? Or have you always worn your penchant for destruction with unbridled pride? When the stranger stirs in his sleep, she accepts that she won't find whatever she is looking for here. Time has come to part ways. Sweet dreams, Arthur. At least she thinks that was his name. Maker. It is midnight and I am writing to you from yet another city whose name I couldn't be bothered to learn. I'm not sure what day it is or how long it's been since I bid you goodbye for the last time. Maybe it's been days, maybe it's been weeks, maybe it's even been years. Since your death, I haven't had anywhere to call home. I only stay in one place long enough to make shelter while the sun is out, and then I'm back on the prowl. It's mostly men. I desperately want them to remind me of you, even though none of them look anything like the you I knew. Leaving our dead, I suspect no one will ever remind me of you. I should probably be grateful for that, shouldn't I? Maker. I have taken to hunting every night just to keep sane, but I don't think it's working. I fear I might have lost my mind long ago without noticing. At least I don't think I'm making things worse. At least I'm keeping busy, which means I have less time to think. That's a good thing. If I think too hard or too long, I'll start thinking of you. I make bad decisions when I think of you. Maker. Remember how you always used to say that creatures like us weren't made for rules. I always disagreed, but only out of spite. We both knew you were right. I hate being told what to do. I hate it so much. I'll fuck everything up for myself just to do the opposite. I miss it now, though. If you were here, I wouldn't have these doubts. I wouldn't have to worry about right or wrong. You would make all the decisions. You alone would be responsible for the terrible, terrible consequences of our actions. Without you, I find that I'm no longer just lonely. I'm alone. You promised me even death could never part us. So why didn't you take me with you? Shit. She slinks away from the crowds, seeking shelter in the shadows of the nearest alleyway. Shit, shit, shit. So this is it. All those years led to this. She's still doing the exact same bullshit she used to do when she was trailing after him, only now she's doing it alone. And to what end? What is the point of living like this? Hell, can you even call it living? What? She almost doesn't dare say it. What if I just ended it? She's already dead. She's already died once. Her second death doesn't even have to count. Some might call it suicide, but Circe gave up on heaven a long time ago. If such a place even exists, she was barred from entry many murders ago. All things must end someday anyway. Perhaps it's my turn now. That thought brings her a strange sense of peace. She slows her heart down, leans her head back against the brick wall, and just listens. She hears traffic. She hears laughter. She hears music. She hears colleagues stumbling to their next bar, arguing over who owns the next round. She hears couples spilling out of the cinema, giggling and necking and whatever couples do. If she really strains her ears, she can even hear a couple of homeless drunks laughing their asses off over a joke that definitely doesn't deserve such unfiltered glee. It all sounds like life. Fuck. Fuck, 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 fuck. All these years. And she's ready to kick the bucket because... Because what? Because he's gone? She can't even make it a year without him. How is that fair? It's not. It's not fair at all. It's stupid. It's stupid, and worse of all, it's humiliating. She's mourned enough, doubted her decisions enough. She wants to live, so she's going to live. Yeah, that's right. She'll keep going out of pure fucking spite if that's what it takes. Something drives through her chest, narrowing, missing her undead heart. Thump. 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 Okay, it's the heart beating. Thump. 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 There's a heartbeat. You're probably not hearing because I put this really low. There's a heartbeat beating so violently it has to hurt. It takes her longer than it should to remember that it can't be hers. Her eyes shift from the improvised stake in her chest to the man responsible for it. Perhaps he's more of a boy than a man. He can't be a lot older than she was when she was changed. Not that any of that matters right now. A stake to the heart? How medieval of you. The man, boy, doesn't respond. He's busy watching in horror as she rips the stake out of her chest. She doesn't flinch at the pain. It's there like an incessant little bug, but it doesn't really hurt. Never does anymore. If I may offer you some advice for the next time you try to murder one of us, don't bother with the classics. Crosses, garlic, and all that nonsense, none of it works. Except the sun, but she's not stupid, so she's omitting that part. Don't be afraid. She takes a step forward. He's trembling now, but still not a word. You're the one who tried to kill me. Shouldn't I be the one to fear you? She catches her hand right before it touches his face. She hadn't even realized she was reaching for him. It's a bad habit of hers. She's always cold, so she's always reaching for warmth. Why don't we play a game? Why don't you guess what can kill me? She doesn't like the silence. She wants to make him talk. If you get it right, I'll even reward you. Generous, no? More silence. This isn't some trick. I find you vaguely entertaining, so I intend to let you keep your life either way. Still silent. She stamps her foot, frustration seeping through. You're not going to talk to me at all. He's not even meeting her eyes anymore. She follows his gaze downwards. Men. Interesting choice of priorities, checking out my boobs at a time like this. What? No, that's vile. I would never do that. He speaks. Well, now I'm offended. What's wrong with my boobs? Nothing, I think. I mean, I wouldn't know because I wasn't looking at your chest area. I'm not that kind of man. Then what kind of man are you? He ignores the question. I was looking at that. He gestures wildly to the hole in her chest. Oh! Or rather, where the hole used to be less than a minute ago. It's already healed, like it was never there. Another reason luck isn't on your side tonight. I just fed. What? I just fed, so I healed faster. The blank, stupid look on his face is oddly endearing. Do you know nothing about our biology? Idiot. What did you say to me? I called you an idiot. Would you like me to repeat that? He whips out the knife she already knew he was hiding in the pocket of his coat. Don't patronize me. He points the blade at her. Or call me an idiot. If you behave like an idiot, I'm going to call you an idiot. Simply smarten up if it bothers you. You think I care what you think of me, you leech. Evidently, you're not particularly good at hiding your thoughts. Why are you dragging this out? I'll never beg a vampire for my life if that's what you're waiting for, so just kill me and be done with this already. She sort of, kind of, not really tries to stifle her laugh. It pisses him off even more. What's so funny? Sorry, it's just your accent. I only realized it now, but it's so British. Talking about this, okay. Yeah, you probably already noticed that my English is not the best. And sometimes I try to adapt my accent to a more US kind of state. But you know, the English that I've learned was the British one. So I know that some people sometimes point to me because of the cunt, which, you know, the cunt can sound like a swearing word. But that was the way that I learned it to pronounce it. And I know that in the US you say can't. So sometimes you are going to hear me saying can't and can't, and because it's like it just comes out from me in the British way, you know. But since I don't actually know that well how to give the right tone when saying it without sounding like a bad word, I try many times when I notice to just say it in the US way. So he's British. This is just a note. Welcome to the North Haven, England, where quite literally everyone talks like this. Oh, so that's where we are. She looks around, taking in her surroundings for the first time. She's not sure how she got here. But it doesn't matter anymore, does it? She's here now. You're not from here. What gave it away? Your accent. You are American. When it's convenient. It's kind of like me when it's convenient. Suppose it doesn't matter where you come from, you still fit in perfectly with the other bloodthirsty freaks in this city. You amuse me. I definitely can't kill you now. Why not? Why? You almost sound disappointed. Of course not. But it doesn't matter what I want, you shouldn't do it anyway. Why? Because we can't both walk away from this. It doesn't work that way. Says who? He rolls his eyes. How about this? If you don't kill me first, I'm going to stab you in the back as you walk away. With that silly little kitchen knife? I've seen babies with stronger grips on their toys than you have gotten on that. His grip loosens. Meanwhile, I could kill you with minimal effort right here, right now. I could snap your skinny little neck with my bare hands and not even break a sweat. Only that wouldn't be very funny now, would it? I don't kill as often as you may think, so I like to take pleasure in it when I do. I'll make it slow. Slice your neck, but keep the cut shallow enough that I have to suck the blood out. I prefer to drink straight from the tap, you see, more intimate that way. Once I've drained you, I'll dump your corpse behind one of these bins and skip town. By the time someone finds you, I'll be long gone. Nobody will even know I was here. He lowers his knife, averting his eyes to stare at nothing in particular. Do what you want. There's no one left who would care enough to try and find me anyway. She recognizes the frustration in his eyes all too well. She's seen it countless times in her own reflection. Monsters took someone from him, just like a monster once took someone from her. Well, no one will have to. As I keep saying, I'm not going to kill you. He hurries to object, but she lifts a finger, and that's enough to shut him up. And you can't kill me? You're bold, I will give you that, but I don't think you could even kill the weakest of us. You're not strong enough, and that's not an insult or a slight against your ego or an attempt at undermining you. It is simply a fact. You are too weak. Don't you think you're underestimating me a little too much? No, I see you exactly as you are. You are no threat to me. You are no threat to anyone. You want revenge? But for whatever reason, you can kill the one you actually want that, so you poured all your resentment into the first vampire you could find. Me, apparently. Maybe you thought I'll be an easy kill, maybe you really thought you could do it. But if I had to guess, I think you knew you would fail. I think you wanted to die. I imagine you've changed your mind by now. Staring death in the face, you are no longer so tough. Still, your pride prevails, so even if anything I just said happened to be truth, you'll never admit it. Would you? He drops the knife on the ground and Circe knows she's got him. He's not weak because he feels fear or because he still looks at her like she's a person deserving of empathy, or worse, sympathy. He's weak because he was born that way. Circe was much stronger when she met the one who made her. Her maker, her maker, the creator of another vampire. It is the duty of the vampire's creator to mentor their apprentice, but this tradition isn't always followed by the clanless. Vampires abandoned by their creators are often at a disadvantage in the world, especially in the vampiric society. Okay, her maker had spent an eternity mastering the art of pretending to be something he'll never be again. Yet when she'd laid eyes on him, she'd still seen what he really was. A monster. But even knowing that, she'd still lost to him, she'd still been too weak. Not anymore though. If you'd like, I could teach you. Seeing his confusion, she elaborates. How to kill a vampire. The vampires, I'm missing something here. How to kill vampires, I mean. You would teach me how to kill your own kind. Yeah, why not? No matter how much of an idiot you think I am, surely you don't think I'll believe that's a genuine offer. Your kind prey on the weak, but you're loyal to your own, even I know that much. He's not wrong. Contrary to the popular belief, most vampires are social creatures. They thrive even when they are together. In theory, at least, reality is more complicated. It's frowned upon, I know, but I don't mind offending people. As a matter of fact, it might just be my favorite pastime. So it's not just me, you're insufferable with everyone. How dare you? But yes, I am. She offers her hand with a smile far too dangerous for anyone sensible to trust. What do you say? Do we have a deal? Only an idiot would strike a deal with a devil like you. Or someone moderately desperate. A moderately desperate idiot, then. Sighing, he takes her hand. She bites back a grin. Ah, before I forget, what's your name? Edgar James Thorne. That sounds so pretentious. I'm just going to call you Eddie, okay? If you must. What about you? What's your name? If I told you, would you even use it? Well, yes. That's what people do, isn't it? Call each other by one another's names. It's been a while since anyone has used her name, but she supposes it would be rude to withhold it from him now. They call me Circe. So may you. His grip on her hand tightens. I want to ask you something, Circe. Yes? When you've taught me all that you can, what's going to stop me from killing you? She allows herself that grin now, showing him all her teeth. Nothing but your own compassion. North Haven, 1986. So 20, right? 20 years have passed. Finding Elysium isn't difficult, Elysium. Founded by the vampire Lazarus back in the 70s, Elysium is an underground music club as well as the only sanctuary in all of North Haven. Lazarus created Elysium to provide the local vampires with a steady supply of clean, fresh blood. Local authorities generally allow Elysium to deal with any conflict internally, as long as their business continues to keep vampire-related crime off the streets. Various spells and other magic tricks are used to keep Elysium's exact location secret from anyone who hasn't received an invitation. Other local supernaturals know the club is somewhere underground and little else. Kind of like it feels like there's a lack of some punctuation in here. For me, I mean. Finding Elysium isn't difficult. The dark doesn't bother Circe the way it might others. Even if it did, she's navigated these tunnels enough times to remember each step. It's getting inside that poses some trouble. It wasn't always such a hassle. Circe was once a regular at Elysium, cautiously welcomed by its patrons because of her relationship with Lazarus. What is this? Oh, okay, it's the same thing. Lazarus. It's the one that I... No, it's not. It's another. The founder of Elysium, Lazarus is a gifted vampire, but the specifics of his powers are an open secret. Few dare to mention to his face. Despite his penchant for dramatics and his infamous reputation as a hedonistic drunkard, Lazarus is still deeply beloved by his patrons, who teasingly refer to him as their prince. Lazarus also happens to be the only boyfriend Circe ever had. Oh. When their tumultuous relationship ended some years ago, Lazarus didn't take it very well and indefinitely banned Circe from Elysium. Rumors has it the two have been acquainted since long before they ever stepped foot in North Haven. Prince of Elysium, asshole, dickhead. Okay. It's been 6 or so years now since she'll been warned to never show her face here again. Of course, that flimsy ban has never stopped her before, nor will it stop her tonight. The bouncer standing guard cut straight to the point. Since you managed to find your way here, I take it you've got an invite. It's not a question. Lazarus paid a pretty penny for the spells that ensure only those with an invitation will ever reach Elysium. Fortunately for Circe, no one remembered to amend those spells when she was banned. Ah, you don't recognize me. Should I? Yes. But given that she doesn't recognize him either, he's probably new. Lucky me. Why is this? Okay. What do they call you? Vampire names. When a vampire is born, their maker, sometimes their clan, will grant them a new name. It is not only a sign that they have been reborn, but also a symbol that they have been embraced by their new kin. Of course, there have been exceptions, instances where a vampire's creator has allowed them to choose their own name. However, it would most likely be assumed that your kin has decided not to accept you as one of their own. When asking a vampire for their name, it is customary to ask, what do they call you, or what do they know you as? This tradition isn't followed as closely by non-vampires or vampires outside the clans. But in certain circles, it is a significant faux pas to not do it this way. He might not recognize her, but he'll definitely have been warned of her name. She thinks quickly. Donna. It's not going to be on the list, but it doesn't need to be. That's what her talent is for. Talents and gifts. Gifts are innate powers passed down from generation to generation through vampiric bloodlines. The further away you are from the primordials, the original line of vampires, the weaker your gift will be. Most modern vampires do not have a gift, making it a symbol of status to have one, even though some gifts might arguably be more of a curse than a blessing. Talents, which is what she says you're going to use, right? Talents are abilities nearly any vampire can learn, but only if the ability is taught to them by another vampire. Different clans have hoarded different talents over several generations. They are very defensive of the ones they have collected, determined to protect their secrets from other clans and clanless vampires. Donna. He flips through the guests list till he hits the bottom of the last page. Yeah, no Donna. He takes a more aggressive stance, but it's all bravado. He reeks of insecurity. She will gladly exploit that. It's been a while, hasn't it? I might be rusty. Okay, I don't think seducing him would actually be of use in here, because I don't think it didn't seem like he was interested. I would like to intimidate him or persuade him. Let's try to persuade him. Well, of course, I'm not on that list. I'm not one of your every night patrons. I've been personally invited by your boss. The bouncer shuffles his feet, red eyes running over her form. When Circe smiles, he nervously smiles back. Okay. You are certainly his type. Still, I can't let you in on your word alone. If you wait here, I'll quickly confirm with Nisha, Elysium's manager, as well as Lazarus' right-hand woman. She may only be human, she's human, but her street smarts have earned her the reluctant respect of Elysium's patrons. For the right price, she sometimes sells information, but nothing that would ever jeopardize the future of Elysium. Some of Elysium's patrons like to speculate that Nisha and Lazarus are secretly lovers, but anyone who actually knows them would know that is no more than a hogwash. Nisha is like a sister to Lazarus. They bicker often, but he trusts her more than he trusts himself. Sorry, I needed to drink something. Circe rests her hand on his bare forearm, leaning forward with a dangerous grin. You should trust me. I have no reason to lie to you. Right? Right. That was easy. Compulsion isn't mind control. she can't force people to entirely transgress their own nature. Okay, a compulsion. A vampire ability that allows one to induce others to follow their will. Depending on the vampire's strength and the strength or weakness of the target's willpower, the vampire could theoretically convince the target to act or think any way they want. The effect is temporary, but consistent long-term exposure to compulsion may cause permanent personality or behavioral changes. Out of all the vampiric talents, compulsion might just be the most powerful, as well as one of the most easily abused. Clans carefully hoard the ability, only allowing their eldest members to learn and practice it. In the hands of the most practiced vampires, compulsion might be one of the closest powers to mind control. However, this kind of prowess demands a natural inclination as well as decades, if not centuries, of study. So I think maybe the one I chose was kind of like probably the best one, apparently. It simply sways people in certain directions, different methods, seduction, intimidation, persuasion, work on different type of people. The weaker their will, the further she can push them. With enough practice and the right target, you could convince someone to do almost anything. Now, may I come in? What? Oh yes, of course you can. He shakes his head, still in daze, and steps aside. Sorry about that. We'll get it sorted with Nisha, so you're on the list next time. How sweet of you. And just like that, she's in. Elysium. The only sanctuary in the city for creatures of the night. Sanctuary, vampire exclusive establishments of any kind, though they are commonly places of culture or entertainment such as bars, clubs, and theaters. Since the 70s, Elysium's been an Epicurean heaven for vamps to gather and feast without repercussions. Donors, that's what they call the humans selling their blood here. Donors, how the vampires in Elysium refer to the human staff who consensually donates blood to them. Some donors do it for the money or in the hopes of one day becoming vampires themselves, but most of them simply find it to be a pleasurable experience. Some of them are naturally masochists, taking pleasure in being fed on. Others are only here to make some good money. Most are here for both, and a selected few loonies come here with dreams of one day becoming vampires themselves. But to my knowledge, few, if any, have yet had the honor of experiencing the change. The act of a vampire bestowing vampirism upon a mortal. Those who have experienced it themselves say it is both the most pleasurable and painful experience one could ever have. Like a newborn, fledglings have only two immediate desires: to be embraced by their maker and to feed the hunger. Alternatively known as the first death. It's nearly been a year since Circe last set foot in Elysium. One quick look around promptly reminds her why she's been avoiding the hellhole. Nothing's changed, everything exactly the same. Circe inhales her stale lungs, breathing in the irresistible saccharine scent of blood. The familiarity should comfort her. In a city that's rapidly changing, more so now than ever, Elysium's been one of her only constants. but it gets so damn boring. Among the 40 to 50 something vamps who permanently reside in North Haven, Circe can count on one hand which ones aren't regulars at Elysium. North Haven, city somewhere in England. Attic's nightlife has attracted a substantial supernatural population hoping to hide in plain sight amongst the crimes and chaos. They are a tight-knit group who come here night after night to dance, drink, and smoosh. As for what brings Circe herself here tonight, the same reason she always comes to Elysium. She's looking for someone. Let's see. She double-checks the picture the client provided. It's an old photograph, a blonde guy, cute enough if you're in his age group, with baby blue eyes and a smile that's up to no good. Basically, I'm looking for a less alive version of this guy. Cool. She scans the dance floor for a mop of blonde curls, but there's no one. Either our intel was off and he's not here yet, or like most of us, he's taken on a different look in his new life. It's annoying they don't have a more recent picture, but this is what the client offered, and Edgar couldn't find anything more recent. So she has been, for these past 20 years, apparently she's been working with Edgar. For now, she should find someone who might have a better idea of where she can find him. Question is, should I find Nisha or Lazarus for that? I mean, she's the helper, but she's a human. And Lazarus was her ex, right? Maybe she's more like sassy with him or something. I don't know. Talking to Lazarus is a horrible idea, which is exactly why she's going to do it. She already knows where to find him. He rarely leaves his private lounge. Oh, we do have a sprite. Lazarus. He's called by more than one name. The Prince of Elysium, asshole, dickhead, occasionally less, but only by those who've had the misfortune or pleasure, reviews vary, of being part of his inner circle. To Circe, he's just lazy. Former fling, current pain in the butt. Yeah, he does have a sprite. Don't act shy, baby, it doesn't suit you. Circe steps past the guards and the curtains, eyes doing a quick sweep of the hazy room, even though she knows it won't have changed. Eventually her eyes have nowhere to go but Lazarus. He's sprawled out on that gaudy, overpriced sofa he loves to death, watching her with a look that says he hasn't decided if he should be furious or aroused by her unwelcome appearance. Staring back at him, she almost understands why he captured her interest in the first place. He's got those sad, cocked up eyes teenage girls like to fantasize about. Yeah, he's kind of pretty, sure. In another life, he could have been a famous rock star. Yeah, I would say like more like that, like you know, kind of like a gothic type of like, I don't know, black metal kind of type of famous star. His gaunt face and cocksure grin would have been plastered all over the city on billboards and magazine covers and as a drunken tattoo on some poor college girl's ass. In this life, he's nothing but wasted potential. But he's not completely useless. You just have to approach him in the right way. Okay, does he like to be ordered or he prefers to be the first? Let's okay, the first word. Let him talk. I'm going to let him talk. He takes his sweet time sitting up. It's kind of lazy, right? Funny seeing you here. I was just saying it's been a while since my favorite bat dropped by to ruin my night. I thought about letting him speak first because she's going to get information. She's going to ask something from him, so I didn't wanted her to be the first one. It takes everything in her to not fly over the table and strangle him. If she gets too close, she fears she'll kiss him instead. Or bite his face off. Or she's unpredictable when it comes to him. Why did I think this was a good idea again? Oh right, it's a bad idea. That's supposed to be the good bit. Won't you invite me to sit? He pretends to hesitate, but he's so impatient he can't maintain the charade for any longer than a second. Whatever, you are already here. Go on, beautiful, have a seat. She eyes the seated opposite him for any suspicious fluids before she sits. Better safe than sorry. The heck, fluids. As petty as ever, aren't you? Me, petty? I don't know what you're talking about. Sure you don't. What brings you here tonight? I'm looking for someone. Putain. Oh, it's a French word. Like bitch. Putain. The French slips out without his permission, a reminder of his real accent. Oh, he has a French accent. Should I put him with a French accent? So he's not Lazarus, he's like Lazarus. Lazarus cranes his head back and groans. Oh, fucking course you are. Who's the unlucky man this time? I'm not going to do it. Who says it's a man? You are wearing that sadistic smile you only put on when you're about to torture some poor bastard. She fishes out the photograph from her bustier. Bustier? I don't know if I'm saying it right. Pretending she doesn't notice how his eyes shamelessly lingers on her cleavage. I don't know what they call him, but I hear he's a fangling. Apparently he's been seen around Elysium the past few nights. Is that supposed to mean anything to me? She shoves the photo forward with impatience. He's one of your patrons, you tell me. Lazarus squints at the picture. Oh, this picture better be fucking ancient. Kid has no style at all. He'll look totally out of place at Elysium. I'm not here for your opinion on his abysmal sense of fashion. Do you know him or not? He squints harder. Yeah, no, I've got no clue who this is. And thank fuck for that. I get nauseous just looking at him. That's what you're focused on right now? What? Do you want me to lie to you? Kid's got an unfortunate face. That's not my fault. He turns away from the photo like it's offending him. I'm not trying to be disrespectful, you know. I actually suspect I'm allergic to the anesthetic. Circe rolls her eyes, stashing the picture back inside her bustier. Anyway, you know very well it's Nisha's job to keep track of who comes and goes. I've got more important shit to do. She eyes the glasses scattered around his table. Like drinking yourself to death over and over again? Lazarus rolls his eyes at the question. They both know why he feels the need to drink as much as he does. Nisha loves responsibility. I don't. That's why we're perfect partners. Remind me, what do you contribute to this partnership? A lot. Like, you know, nothing comes to mind at this moment, but I'm sure there's something. Elysium might be Lazarus' brainchild, but when it comes to running the place, he'll only do what he wants to do. Which isn't much. It's his right hand Nisha, a human, who manages everything. Most of his patrons protested when she was appointed manager, but she's had a decade to earn their grudging respect. When Nisha finally decides to usurp you, I'm taking her side. Yeah, right, you miss me too much if something happened to me. I disagree. Care to find out who's right? He downs the rest of his drink, at the same time gesturing for another with his free hand. One of the donors on standby slices her palm, dripping fresh blood into a clean glass. She hands it over with an adoring smile. For you, master. Thanks. He accepts it without even glancing at the woman, who obediently scuttles back to her corner in the room. Circe watches the entire interaction in disgust. Can we be honest, Circe? Come on, let's be honest. You're a smart woman. You already knew I wouldn't know him. He sips his drink with surprising restraint, watching her over the rim of his glass. So, why come to me? In all honesty, she's not sure. It's definitely not because she missed him. Lazarus has a way of crawling under her skin that makes her feel alive again. But she's never been a masochist. Maybe she was hoping he'll be the cure to the chronic boredom haunting her as of late. Could that be it? How naive of me. Elysium hasn't changed since she was last here, and the same goes for Lazarus. He puts on a good show with his theatrics, but he's just as permanent as the rest of them. Unable to grow, unable to change, unable to escape this. I want to be difficult, so I'm going to say, okay, bye. Since you refuse to be useful, I'm not going to waste any more of my time. If luck is on my side, we will never see each other again. Bye. You're leaving? Already? Don't be so dramatic. She stands up more than ready to get the hell out of here. Lazarus chucks his glass aside and leans forward, reaching out. Do not touch me. And stops right before their fingers can brush. I wasn't going to. He reclines again, hands raised in mock peace. Look, it's no secret I have a soft spot for you. I have always been lenient when it comes to your hobbies. But I'm still running a business here. Elysium's clientele have certain expectations when it comes to safety, so I can't let you prance in here as you wish and murder one of them on a whim. Haven't we already been over this? I feel like we have. More than once, the conversation tends to end in her favor. Who said anything about murder? Do I look fucking stupid to you? Fine, who says I need your permission to kill him? Don't worry, I'm under no impression that words alone would be enough to stop you. You respond far better to other methods. Is that a threat? Wait, no. If I say it is, will you leave without killing my customer? No, I'll just kick you in the balls first. Hot. You're disgusting. Baby, you know your threats always turn me on. Lazarus straightens in his seat as much as his permanently inebriated state allows him to. Look, I don't give a shit what my clients get up to outside Elysium. But inside my club, murder kinda sucks for business. But you don't want to have that Fangling as one of your patrons anyway. He's bottom of the barrel scum who preys on vulnerable women, escorts, and the homeless and whomever else he's decided on won't be missed. Is he wrong in thinking that? Okay, now she's seriously considering kicking him. Just one kick. He won't even feel the pain through all the substances he's been abusing. Keep your fangs to yourself, little bat. I'm not saying I agree with his choice of sustenance, but I'm sure we can both see where his reasoning comes from. Or are you going to pretend he's the only vamp in North Haven to prey on the most vulnerable? As Lazarus gets more agitated, his real accent starts to slip through. Maybe I should have given him the accent. We cannot all be like you, mon coeur. We cannot all be bothered to pretend like we can be friends with our food. Mon coeur is my heart. It literally go like my love, but the French say mon coeur, my heart. Circe curls her lip at the snub. Sides, if I start judging all our patrons based on their conduct outside Elysium, I won't have any customers left. Well, before you suggest that could be a good thing, consider this. Without an endless legal supply of fresh blood, who do you think all the hungry vamps in this city are going to feed on? Damn it, he's making sense. She hates it when he does. It's only a matter of time before he attacks one of your donors. Now that makes him pause. Lazarus has never tried to hide his lack of love for humans, but he does care for the well-being of his donors. Who knows if it's out of a genuine empathy hidden somewhere deep inside that heart of his, or if it's just because them dying would be an inconvenience, but he tries to keep them out of harm's way. That would be bad for business. You got a particularly reason to believe he would do that? Call it a bat's intuition, or just common freaking sense, but Les has never listened to that, so... Intuition, huh? I've listened to your intuition before. It's gotten me into trouble one too many times to count. But it's also saved your ass plenty of times, hasn't it? I guess. Alright. Say I believe you. I still can't ban the Fangling unless he's actually broken one of Elysian rules. it'll make me look bad. But if you leave him be and he hurts one of your donors, you look even worse. Damn, this is inconvenient. He scratches his nose, a nervous tick he's had as long as she's known him. It never fails to irritate her. Okay, how about this? If he really is just some nobody fangling, I could hypothetically turn a blind eye. Like he believes himself, some people are simply too unimportant to be remembered when they are gone. Don't do whatever you're gonna do anywhere near here though. Don't want Orion and his circus coming here to snoop around. Orion Walker. An inspector in the Supernatural Crime Division, making him Dante and Raoul's superior officer. So like we didn't pick Dante. Despite being a vampire, Orion has a human family. Both his wife and his daughter are aware of his identity and job. So he's a vampire. He's an inspector and a vampire and married to a human. Officially, Orion's daughter, Alice, is adopted and not his biological child. Vampires shouldn't be able to have children. Okay, making Alice a miracle that has to be kept a secret. If her identity gets out, it might catch the attention of questionable people. Perhaps it is because of the similarity that Orion finds it difficult to not constantly worry about Dante. Okay. Or even worse, that lilac-eyed bastard you're so fond of. Lilac-eyed. I'm not fond of it. Did Edgar have like lilac? I don't know. I'm not fond of him. That's your paranoia talking. But of course, I can be discreet. Just make sure your psychopaths know I've got permission to roam Elysium freely for the night. I'll let the staff know to send the Fangling your way if they see him, but be quick about it. Makes people nervous to see North Haven's biggest vampire slayer loitering around. Couldn't pay me to stay another minute. She's already said more than she wants to, but of course Lazarus isn't done yet. He has to have the final word. Anytime I don't see you for a while, I forget how infuriating you can be. She's afraid to meet his gaze, already knowing what awaits. That look of pure, unadulterated affection. It's insanely sexy. You're repulsive. Have I ever told you that? More than once. Gets me rock hard every time. Ugh. Don't worry, you don't need to like me back. I enjoy the violent sadness your revulsion brings me. Because Lazarus loves to wallow, it's all he ever does. He'd done it even during their entire thing together, whatever it had been. She's happily sworn off relationships since they're ended. Clearly, they are just not for her. And yet, a part of her still... No, love's just not for me. I'm sorry for the way things ended. I should have appreciated you more. It's the same speech every time. You were right to break up with me then, but it's never too late to take me back. Won't you let me be yours again? Please. Say nothing back. Oh, please, who is she trying to pretend she is? The bigger person. You cannot seriously want that. I want you all the time, Circe. I always have. We were awful together. With or without you, I'm a poor excuse for a man. We might as well be awful together. Where's your sense of shame, Lazy? Lassie? It's more like Lassie. Shame? The fuck would I need that for? Shame is a disease. All it does is stop you from going after what you really want. Maybe what we want isn't what's best for us. True. This is true. When has either of us ever cared what's best for us? Her skin crawls under his intense stare. Whatever, I've got a fangling to catch. Very well, see you in a few months, I guess. Lazarus doesn't try to hold her back this time. She leaves feeling more disappointed than she deserves to. She should have known tonight wouldn't be any different. She's not sure why she even wanted it to be. Not much time passes before one of Elysium's goons notifies Circe of the Fangling's arrival. Apparently they call him Seth. One of Lass's lackeys picked his name up from Nisha Seth, a Fangly who showed up in North Haven recently and has already built up an unsavory reputation. An anonymous client paid Thorn Investigations to slay him for reasons unknown. Moments later, Circe finds Seth loitering near the stage. She was right to assume that he's changed since the photograph. He's at least a few years older, though still young enough to have just graduated university, so she was able to find him, right? He's shaved off the baby fat and grown a mediocre mustache, but the cheeky smile he shoots her way is identical to the one in the picture. For a split second, Circe hesitates. He still looks so young, so full of life, even in death. Then she remembers what he's done. She remembers the women he's hurt. She remembers he deserves this. Hey! He's grinding from ear to ear a little too brightly for someone who's supposed to be dead as she closes in. Well, hello there, what do they call you? Does it matter? You're welcome to call me whatever you want. Really? Typical of a Fangling, Seth is a slave to his own impulses. Perhaps he's merely deferring to her as an older vampire, or he simply can't help his excitement at a woman showing interest in him first. Either way, she smiles, deciding there's no point in wasting time. Seduction has always come easiest for her. You should come somewhere with me, somewhere more private. Seth lunges at the opportunity without reservation. Sure, when? I can go anytime. Now? Where to? She hides her disgust behind a well-timed giggle. Come with me. She slips a hand into his and guides the overly eager vamp through the crowd. The bouncer who almost didn't let her in earlier still guards the entrance. He doesn't say anything when he sees them, simply watching as they disappear down the dark tunnel. When they get out of the tunnels, Circe leads Seth through the streets with confidence, knowing exactly where to bring him. It's where I met Eddie for the first time 20 years ago. I spared his life that night, but I've ended many lives there since to make up for it. Seth doesn't shut up once. I've never been with a vamp before. Is it better than sex with humans? Shouldn't we get some blood first? He enjoys the sound of his own voice too much. Not even once does he question her silence. Circe stops at the end of the dingy alley, far away enough from Elysium to maintain her end of the deal. Seth looks around with a frown. You want to do this here? Wouldn't a nice girl like you prefer a hotel? Not a girl. Seth's jaw drops stupidly. You mean... I was referring to my age. Oh yeah, of course not. I'm sure you're experienced. Anyway, I'll invite you back to mine, but I don't have a place yet. Just rolled into North Haven the other night, still getting my shit sorted out. She ignores him, letting him laugh nervously to himself while she looks around, checking there's no junkies or creeps hiding around the corner. Seems it's just the two of us here. And he's back to being excited. Oh, you dirty girl, you got a kink for doing it outside, yeah? Ew. You picked a great spot then. No way anyone will find us here. As long as we're on the same page. She lunges for him, grabbing him by the throat and shoving him up against the wall. Ah! He doesn't need air to survive, but he's forgotten that in his panic. He grasps desperately, clawing at the hand wrapped tight around his neck. Circe stares into his eyes the entire time. She doesn't want to miss the moment the fight leaves him, the moment he realizes he doesn't stand a chance. She's older. She's stronger. She's going to kill him. She's going to fucking kill him. Please. She only notices he's crying when a stray tear hits her skin. Typical, when threats don't work, they always resort to begging. Please don't. Please, I don't know what I've done to piss you off, but... She can feel the joy seeping out of her as Seth's crying grows louder. She forgot how annoying it can be to kill fanglings. They are too sensitive. Whether it's pain or pleasure, they feel everything too strongly. That's why they don't last long without an older vampire to guide them in their first year. Leave them to their own antics and they'll fuck like rabbits and die like cattle. Why are you doing this to me? Quit wailing and I'll get to that part. It's a little hard not to wail when you're about to kill me, but sure, I'll be bloody quiet. She lifts her chin, daring him to speak another word. I'm waiting. Perfect. Listen, I think we both can agree you've been stupid. Least you could have done is be more careful with where you take your meals. Not eaten as many sheep from the same pen. Then maybe no one would have noticed. But no, on top of that, you were childish enough to play with your food and leave evidence behind. She sees the exact moment her words start to seep into his dumb little brain. The games you like weren't very funny for your playmates, weren't they? Of course you like that they didn't... Of course you like it that they didn't like it. Didn't you? That's what this is about. They were fucking into it. And you talk like I've been touching them. I haven't. I never said that. I'm not sick. My mom told me better. I see, so she warned you not to stick your dick where it's unwanted, but she forgot to tell you not to eat people. Don't bother denying it. You torture them, Seth. You snack on their flesh while they were still breathing. So what if I like to steal a bite? Their blood is good enough to drink, but their flesh is too dirty for us. Every vampire's tried meat once, yes, even you. I bloody know you have. And like I already told you, they fucking enjoy it. Her fingers twitch, her grip on his throat threatening to tighten. Did they tell you that before or after you drained it and defiled them? I'll ask them personally, but last I checked, the dead don't talk. Well, with the expectation of us. With the exception of us. Why does that even matter? Aren't we the same? Aren't we? Then you should know it isn't fair to judge me. I mean, she's still suffocating him and he's like talking this much? Okay. We're fucking vampires, apex predators, top of the food chain. Who cares what happens to the cattle? God, can you get any more cliché? See, that's the problem with vampires like yourself. You have no regard for consequences. You think that just because you can, you should. Well, let me clue you in on a little secret. She squeezes hard, strangling him. You shouldn't have. Release him. You've got to be kidding me. Release him. I will not repeat myself. There's only one vampire in this city who would dare order Circe around like that. Okay, it's a new character. Abraxas. Captain of the SSF's North Haven branch. Like that security thing, probably. The lone vampire on his team, his agents respect him as a leader, but his loyalty to the SSF has made him unpopular with the local supernaturals. Rumor has it that Abraxas once lived as an aristocrat, and he still owns a mansion somewhere at the outskirts of North Haven. He has declined to comment. This is your final warning, Miss Circe. I strongly recommend you hit it. I hurt you the first time, Abraxas, but I'm not one of your lapdogs. You should ask nicely if you want me to do something for you. As if playing nice with you has ever done anything any good. How would you know? You've never tried. You're trying to distract me, but your efforts are in vain. Tonight I have even less patience for your antics than usual. Seth is under the protection of the Supernatural Secrecy Force. Okay, so it's SSF. If you harm as much as a hair on his head, you will be in defiance of North Haven's supernatural law. So, the Supernatural Secrecy Force is a privately owned counter-terrorism and intelligence agency. Like, even vampires need this. Okay. Secretly operating under a political and financial support from multiple governments and private individuals. Their key priority is to shield the existence of the supernatural world from humans. The SSF has offices all around the world, but they hold more power in some places than others. Most SSF agents are supernaturals, but the higher ups are almost exclusively human. Though the SSF claim to care for the best interests of humans and non-humans alike, their regulations often put supernaturals at a disadvantage. The supernaturals who have decided to sign up to work to the SSF are at best distrusted by other supernaturals. At worst, they are completely ostracized. Purely out of childish spite, she considers plucking a hair from Seth's hair just to prove a point. It will grow back in seconds after all. Release him, let me handle him. It's not as if this would be my first crime. I've broken at least 2 laws just tonight. This is a serious matter. How serious? I cannot say much, just know that Seth is our only witness to an important investigation. I am. He is. In her surprise, Circe drops Seth on his behind. Seth scrambles to his feet, running to hide behind Abraxas' imposing frame. It's hard to tell, but beneath that thick jacket, Abraxas is hiding almost 6 feet and 5 inches of lean muscle. Wow. If only he'd used all those muscles for something productive, like throwing me around a bedroom. You know, I'm not... This is me, my personal opinion. I'm not much into, I like him, okay, but I'm usually not much into these beefy guys, you know. I'm not the beefy guy type of girl. No, I'm not. But I mean, he's fine. But I digress. Normally, no self-respecting vampire would run to an SSF agent for help, but Seth either doesn't know that or, no. He definitely has no respect for himself. Follow me, one of my agents is waiting for us around the corner. Hey, where do you think you're going? I'm not done with you. Abraxas answers without pause. I am, done with her. I'm not. I fail to see how that's my problem. Abraxas couldn't look more bored if he tried. It's infuriating how he always carries himself with perfect poise. Even as his shoulders hang heavy with guilt he thinks no one can see. Thank you for not putting up too much of a fight this time, Miss Circe. I appreciate it when you are willing to collaborate. Unlike the rest of his good-for-nothing squad, Abraxas has never, not even once, flinched in the face of her wrath. But there's always a time for firsts. Collaborate? You want me to show you how I collaborate? She storms up to him, even he heals. She has to glare up at him, but the height difference has never intimidated her. This is unnecessary. I could hear you perfectly fine where you stood. Go fuck yourself. Not even a flinch. Very mature. You are more than welcome to waste my time any other night, Miss Circe, just not this one. He tries to sidestep her, but she follows, blocking his path. Don't pretend you're above this. You love arguing with me. That's why you're always in my business, messing with my work. His brows furrow. It's the only hint that her words have affected him in any way. I'm not your business. You are mine. Right, sure. That's why I stalked you here. Oh, wait, that wasn't me. That was you. Oh, please, I did not stalk you. Then how did you find us? Coincidence? Coincidence, seriously? That's the best you could think of. It isn't the first time you have brought prey to this alley. I was in the area looking for Seth and figured it would be worth a look. So yes, it is nothing more than a coincidence that I found you. He moves to pass her again, but she moves again to block him. Do you even know who you're protecting here? Do you know what this bastard does to his victims? He doesn't just drain them, he tortures them. He deserves worse than death. You're one to talk, you just tried to kill me. Seth pushes out his chest, mimicking Abraxas' stance the best he can. You saw what she did. You saw everything, right, Captain? Quiet. But Seth only gets louder. You did. You saw how this she-devil threatened me. That's attempted murder. What are you waiting for? Do your job and arrest her. Circe doesn't rise to her own defense. There's no need, because she sees Abraxas' response coming from a mile off. On what grounds? What? I just told you she tried to murder me. That isn't something the SSF is concerned with. We cannot get involved every time there is a minor squabble between two supernaturals. But shut it. They trade a peeved glance at the unintentional coordination. After a stony stare, Abraxas is first to break the tense silence. You have no authority here, Miss Circe. Now you go your way, and I'll go mine. The palm of his cold hands ghosts along the small of her back, gently pushing her aside. Then he grabs Seth by the elbow to drag him to the mouth of the alley. Circe follows right at their heels. What happens to him after you get what you need? We'll follow protocol and release him. But he's a criminal. Because he's predictable like that, Abraxas just offers her the usual spiel. The SSF is a counterterrorism and intelligence agency. We investigate and neutralize supernatural threats for the greater good of society. We have neither the time nor reason to chase down all the addicts, muggers, and vandals who haunt these streets. But even if I wanted to do something, we have no case against him. I cannot abuse the law by detaining him without proof of a crime. My word is your proof. Have I ever lied to you before? Many times. But I'm not lying this time. Abraxas pauses, turning to look at her. She meets his assessing stare with confidence. If you have proof that this vampire has violated supernatural law, you should gather your evidence and report it to the Supernatural Crime Division. I'm not going to click because we already clicked, right? It's the same thing. Okay, prevent supernatural crime? No, maybe not. Led by a wizard called Advic. To the public eye, they appear as the Special Crimes Division. Oh, okay, because this is the other one, the Supernatural Crime Division. Okay, this is the other one around. Okay. I'll put in a word with the inspector or whomever on shift to make sure he's looked into as soon as possible. And if he is indeed guilty of the claims you make, I'll personally ensure that he gets what he deserves. Now will you please step aside and let me do my job? She steps back, hiding her fangs between tightly pressed lips. Fine. She's not going to report shit. By the time they get through the backlog to his file, Seth will already have fled the city. She'll surrender him to SSF custody for now. There's no other option, but as soon as he's out of their sight... Seth snickers under his breath. Serves you right, you stupid cunt. 1 second, Seth's taunting her. The next, he's curled up on the floor, clutching his broken nose as he cries out in pain. Ah, fuck! What was that for? It happened so fast, she almost misses the look of uncharacteristic rage on Abraxas' face. Mind your tongue in the presence of a lady. Clearing his throat, he actually has the audacity to look sheepish when his eyes meet Circe's. We'll take a detour. The nose will heal before we reach the office. Sorry. Hope your car crashes on the way. For a split second, she thinks she sees the ghost of a smile grace his lips. Great, now I'm hallucinating. Good night to you too, Miss Circe. He grabs the back of Seth's hoodie, effortlessly lifting him with one arm and carrying him out of the alley. She doesn't watch them leave. She is too pissed to spend another second here. Once she's certain she's still alone, she transforms and flies into the night. Circe flies through an open window of her flat. Miss Circe, Miss Circe, Miss Circe. She transforms just in time to land on her feet inside. Who the hell does he think he is? She stalks around the tiny space, tearing off her clothes while cursing Abraxas in every language known to mankind. She's never known anyone more frustrating. She pulls to a stop in front of a mirror so she can adjust her underclothes and check her makeup. But her reflection makes her pause. Sometimes I wish the myths were true and vampires didn't have reflections. When she sees herself in the mirror, she can never resist picking her appearance apart. The red lips, painted a color so her mouth would match her eyes. The black hair she frantically restyles with every change of the seasons. The body that stopped aging the year she thinks she turned 22, only a few days short of 23. She tries to carry herself to show she's older than she looks, but staring herself down in the mirror, she can't help feeling hopelessly young. In the near 100 years of her existence, she's reinvented herself dozens of times. So why do I still look so like the girl I used to be? I wish I could forget her, but every time I see myself, there she is. At least she's beautiful, a small mercy. I'm too old to mope around like this. Circe picks her clothes back up, slipping them back on. It's embarrassing, really, letting Abraxas shake her confidence like this. She smirks. Back again, I see. She quiets her steps, sneaking around as she searches for the little intruder. Come out, wherever you are. She catches the culprit under a haphazardly discarded bra. her neighbor's cat, Ellie. How did you manage to escape your owner this time, Huh? Sheep soup soup at Ellie. This is like so strange. I'm going to tell you why. When I was in the US, I noticed that soup soup to a kitty, it's something that we do in here, like we do in here in Europe. But from what I saw in there, they usually don't say psu psu to call a cat. They say kitty 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 kitty. They say it like this, and not actually psu psu to call a cat. Actually, I even think they find it weird and strange when we do it. So when I'm seeing like psu psu in here, okay. So she calls Ellie, Circe's neighbor's cat. She likes to sneak into Circe's flat. But I'm saying this, but maybe it was the place where I was. Maybe there are other places in the US where they do this. Honestly, I don't know. Luring her from her hidden spot, she's not sure the sounds actually make a difference. The cat just seems to really like her. Or why else would you sneak in here all the time, She picks the cat up, cradling her in her arms and pressing a kiss to her head. Poor Mrs. Harris has to be worried sick about you. Wait here, I'll have Eddie take you home. I'll take that as a yes, ma'am. Good kitty. Downstairs, she finds Edgar hunched over his desk, nose buried in mountains of paperwork. Oh, he's like different. 20 years have passed, right? And he was, I don't know, he was what, maybe 19, maybe 20? Is he like 40 now? I don't know. When Eddie's working, he might as well be dead to the rest of the world. The only sign he's an actual living person and not a eerily realistic statue is when his hand moves to scratch at his 5 o'clock shadow. Sometimes it's all too easy to forget that Edgar isn't the same boy I met 20 years ago. Edgar is the only human companion she's ever had. She knows their relationship isn't conventional. Vampires don't keep the company of humans they aren't fed on, or sleep with, or planning to change. But Edgar isn't a blood bag or a quick fuck or a toy to her. He's a friend. Perhaps her only friend in the world. When we first met, we looked the same age. Perhaps that's why it feels so strange to watch him grow while I don't. Growing old suits him. Where he used to be cute, he's now handsome. Yeah, I prefer more mature guys too. At least in her opinion, that is scare him, slip into his lap. Let's do something funny in here. Circe crawls over the desk and into his lap. She buries her nose in his collar and inhales. He smells the same as always. Like coffee, tobacco, and cheap body wash. Comfortable? She's done this enough times that it barely phases him anymore, which is disappointing. Oh well, it just means she has to try a little harder to fluster him. Very comfortable. Glad one of us is. Bored, she slips out of his lap and sits on the edge of the desk instead. You'll never guess what happened again to... Abraxas messed up the job, didn't he? She was talking about Ellie, but being reminded of Abraxas sours her mood. How did you know? Heard you cursing up a storm upstairs. Ah, right. Thin floors. Edgar doesn't ask for details, well aware Circe will supply them regardless. It never takes much for her to go off on another one of her rants about Abraxas and the supernatural secrecy force. They've been a thorn in their operation since the very start. Separate from the Supernatural Crime Division, the SSF are an intelligence agency specialized in so-called counterterrorism. Bluntly speaking, they've been ordered to do whatever it takes to ensure that the existence of supernaturals remain a secret from the larger world. They spy and manipulate their narrative behind the scenes, only stepping forward when an accident grows big enough that it threatens exposure. On occasion, they will even directly eliminate assumed threats. The SSF higher-ups are all mortals, but they send supernatural like Abraxas to do the dirty field work for them. Well, kinda understandable, right? Many would insist that the SSF are necessary evil, but everyone still thinks supernaturals who join up are sellouts. Innocent or guilt matters little to the SSF. Their job is, quite literally, to brush things under the rug, usually at the expense of non-humans. Cities that have experienced the rise of vampires don't let the SSF anywhere near if they can help it. Rise of vampires refers to historical events in which a single or several vampire clans have set up a stronghold in the region. Aside from wizards, these strongholds tend to shun the presence of other non-humans. In the past decade, Paris has been Europe's largest vampire stronghold. On the other hand, the British vampire population, once prosperous, has been on decline for generations. Oh yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, yes, she's in Europe, that's why yeah, okay, that makes sense. Now it's making sense to me. But in places like North Haven, it's hard to get all the different non-humans to agree on anything other than not wanting humans to discover us. I'm not surprised they intervened again, but I'm surprised they haven't shut Thorn investigations down yet, given our egregious list of violations. Thorn Investigations, a private investigation agency founded by Circe and Edgar. Okay. They accept jobs from humans and supernaturals alike. Occasionally, they even take on contracts to slay vampires. I don't like Abraxas any more than you do, but I've got to give it to him. His patience with you has been impressive. What do you mean by that? Careful, that almost sounded like a compliment. But Edgar's not wrong. Circe should be a major liability in the SSF's books. She's bent or outright broken their rules plenty of times, yet Abraxas doesn't report half of the stuff she gets up to. Because of that, he now seems to believe she owes him some kind of favor. As if I ever asked for his help. You know what? Maybe he fancies you. My colossal ego is inclined to agree, but I don't think that's it. Besides, he's married. He's married? But his wife passed away ages ago. Okay. He's like a widowed guy. And yet, even after all this time, he still hasn't taken off his wedding ring. About 15 years ago, when they've spoken face to face for the first time, had been one of the first things she'd noticed about him. At the time, she'd been disappointed, assuming his wife was still alive. She's done a lot of awful things without guilt, but sleeping with married men was something she liked to avoid. I mean, sometimes you can try to avoid, and you are with a guy thinking that he's not married, and in hindsight, she recognizes she dodged a bullet, even if only barely. It's a long time, I suppose. Edgar scratches his nose bridge, giving away how nervous he is. It never fails to amuse her how easy he is to read. Well, that's quite sad, isn't it? He must have loved her very much. Must be painful missing someone that long. I don't know if... Honestly, I came into this game and I don't even know who the characters we can date are. I will probably put like a description in the video. I think we can date this one at least, the Edgar one. But the Abraxas and even the other guy, the Lazarus and stuff, I don't know. I have to see it. But I just wanted to say that I usually don't like, it's not always, but I usually don't like much to get with guys that are still reminiscing about someone, like they are still longing for some. I'm going to tell you, like, maybe if I give this example, you might understand what I'm trying to say. Like, imagine, because I think most people recognize this game. You know, what is the name of it? Mystic Messenger, stuff like that, something like that. That you had like V, I think it was V, that he was like so into Rika and she was dead, and you were like doing his route and he was still so fixated on her, and I don't like that. I don't like when they are still so fixated on I mean, it's beautiful, okay, it's very beautiful, but to think in that way. But for me, I'm always a bit I'm always a bit like not being convinced about those routes, because he already has like two things that I kind of don't like, but it's fine. I bet he's really great, you know, and he has like a really good route. I don't know. I think he might be like one of the love interests, I guess. Circe knows far too well what it feels like to mourn someone you'll never hold again. It doesn't have to mean that you love them, but Edgar wouldn't be thinking about her experience in this moment. He must be thinking about his sister. On to more fun matters. Remember what day it is. What day it is? With everything going on tonight, she'll nearly forgotten herself, so she can't say she blames him when Edgar pulls a face that says he definitely doesn't remember. Of course I remember. It's February 19, 21.